I work in a company that mainly takes care of soft skills training for many different targets. My VET learning experience is actually quite diverse. I started off with some summer schools quite a few years ago, in which I went in depth on some psychological topics and also scientific writing. That was something that I thought was very important for my future work. And then I did a course in HR management, and then a course in European project management more recently. And there were all courses that are VET courses because their scope is to introduce the students in organizations that work in these sectors. So I never really took any VET courses that were directly linked to my occupation. I started off in soft skills training with an internship, and I realized that that internship on its own wasn't really enough to give me the theoretical background that I thought I needed to work in this sector. So in the meantime, I decided to take a course. And so it's something that I did in parallel. I started with an internship and took a VET course in the meantime, and I think it really helped me. I also took other courses that weren't directly related to what I did or what I do right now, but I take these courses because I think it's important for constant improvement and for upskilling, and I always think it's extremely useful. I've learned very useful things, even though they weren't completely related to the industry I work in. I am aware of some VET courses that are linked to specific organizations for professional development. My impression is that most courses that lead to a professional career or that are linked with organizations are usually very expensive private courses. This is my impression. These are the courses that I have heard of, and I have colleagues and university friends that have been taking these courses, and it's much more difficult to find out about more inclusive or even free or more sustainable learning opportunities. I think that those are much harder to find. Right now, I am currently following a course that is actually completely free and extremely useful, very rich in content and in experience, and it's something that I came by very randomly. So I think these courses are much harder to find. The impression is that you have to spend a lot of money to have an effective training. In my experience, VET providers and businesses could provide better quality training courses, taking care, I think, of three main aspects. First of all, I think it is very important that VET providers are constantly updated and in contact with industry representatives to always offer content that is up to date with the skills that are actually required. Because in a world that changes so quickly, I believe that it's very easy for some skills to become obsolete very quickly, and then you find yourself in a different world than the one that was described to you. So I think that that is very important. At the same time, I think that the balance between theory and practice should really be optimized through work-based learning. So I really think that all courses should have some sort of connection with organizations, maybe offer internships, paid internships, because of course you need that kind of motivation and drive to really dive into what you're doing and really learn from it and not have any other distractions. And also, or some kinds of projects. For example, in a course that I took, I did a capstone project in which I worked with an industry leader, and I worked on a little project. I was supervised, I wrote a thesis about it, but I really had the opportunity to dive into how that organization worked and have real life challenges to face. And lastly, I think it's very, very useful and important to offer some coaching or mentoring experiences. It's so precious when, as a student, you have the opportunity to come in contact with somebody that works in the industry and that has the time to really share some information and listen to your thoughts in a non-judgmental way in a safe space, and really give you that kind of hands-on, real-life information that is useful for your professional development, and also to really understand what are the areas of improvement that you have to work on and what is already in your potential. So I think these are the three main things. And also, of course, better communication when it comes to abroad experiences. There are so many opportunities to travel and to work abroad and to study abroad that sometimes aren't so easy to come by. And the impression is that it's hard to go abroad. It's difficult, it's expensive, there's bureaucracy. So if there was better even communication from that point of view, I think it would be an amazing opportunity for all VET students.